so much screaming in the barn this morning?
Because we started milking the mamas. Babies are not pleased to share their milk right now.
So what happens is we put the babies in a stall overnight, the ones whose mothers are going to be milked, and they stay there overnight. The mothers stay outside. Nobody's happy in the morning.
Lunch is done. Let's see. How much do you get after? And some more. Yeah, get the filter here. You want to put her back in the amethyst out?
You'd think she'd be more eager for her babies.
She's definitely not putting in milk. She's tight on there. She has her share in the back.
Which one, Princess?
Princess, yes.
You gonna find your babies? There they are. Look how happy those babies are. Highway robbery! You stole all that, didn't you? What are you gonna do with that milk?
I'm going to put it in the fridge.
And then what?
And then we'll make custard with it.
Oh, did Mommy say so?
Yeah.
I wanted to take you down to the barn and show you how we disbud our Nigerian dwarf goats. Hey everybody, how's it going in here? How's it going in here? Hi, why hello. How are you, buddy? Yeah, look at that. All right, here's my partner in arms for many things, among which is the disbudding of goats. So Rosemary is holding this little boy.
This is a buckling.
I want you to take a good look at his head. Whoa.
He says, "Where's Mama?"
Do you
Where's
see those
Mama?
burns? This guy and the other buckling were actually disbudded a couple days ago because bucklings' horns come in a lot faster. Why do we do this, given that goats naturally have horns?
Well, first off, we do not disbud our meat goats. They're a little bit more wild and a little bit more out and about. These are Nigerians and they're part of our dairy herd. And we have chosen with our dairy goats to disbud them, all of them. And in part that comes about because we are working in close proximity to them a lot. And if they have horns, they may not even be aggressive or anything like that, but you can get caught by a horn. They can get their head stuck in the fencing because our dairy goat fencing is the stuff that they could stick their head potentially through. And if they had horns, they could get stuck. And also, I have little kids, human kids, and I do not want my boys, who are a lot of times are by the goats and such, to have to worry about getting caught by a horn.
No kidding.
Yeah, no kidding, right?
The other thing that I was thinking of is for sales, it's the breed standard, right?
For showing, yes.
Yeah.
For the Nigerians, you have to have them disbudded if you want to show them.
So there are people out there who do prefer horns and consider it more natural. But the fact of the matter is that, most county fairs require you to conform to the breed standard and don't permit horns in dairy goats. And
not for showing, anyway.
Yeah, in terms of selling, given that most of our Nigerian dwarf goats get sold, it's pretty important that we provide a goat that looks like and is hornless like the goat that people are expecting.
Mm-hmm.
Shall we show people how this works?
I suppose.
All right. Who's going to be first?
Probably this big girl. She needs her horn buds. She's huge.
Oh yeah, definite nubs there. Let's take a look. The first thing we need to do is expose the nubs so I know where it is that I'm bringing. What's next? Yep. So now the nubs are exposed, and I'll know where the burner goes.
Very careful.
Nope.
Coming through. Put it how
Yep,
you want that
I
cord.
got it. So before I do this, I just wanted to say that yes, it is a hot iron, and yes, this is a baby goat. So yes, there is some pain involved, but the fact of the matter is that it burns the nerves very quickly, and I don't think that it hurts for very long because of that. And let me tell you, we'll probably get it on video. The fact is, this goat will go right back to its mother and nurse and be perfectly normal. If you do this right, it's a delicate thing. You have to make sure you do not burn too long. So I am being very careful to count and making sure that I do not overdo it. All right.
I'm going to go on the left side.
Let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready.
Ready and...
You're a screamer, I know.
Good. All right.
We're gonna finish up here pretty quick. It's okay. We'll get you back to Mama.
Ready and... It's okay.
She's one of the louder ones.
All right, so basically I've burned a ring around the horn nub on both sides. And the goal is to expose a sort of copper-colored brown in a ring all the way around. That's how you know that you've done a good job. Now what I'm going to do is try to pop those caps off, which may or may not happen, but can be a helpful thing to do.
Do you want to do just a slight
Just
bit?
fix it up. Okay,
But don't, not forward,
just there. Good.
Okay. Hold on. I
Ready?
got her.
Okay, good. Does this one need to be touched up?
Just a slight bit
Just
on
a
the
little
top
bit?
here.
Okay. Go ahead.
Give her a sec. Okay. Make sure.
Here. Just one. Okay, let's take a look at the two sides. Copper rings all the way around. The caps cauterized and popped off. What do you think?
Possibly.
A little more on that one?
I'm just looking at the tops.
Okay.
We kind of
They should pop off.
yeah, we just
no.
let her go a little bit longer than I like.
Mm-hmm. Usually you want to catch them a little bit earlier, but I
Before
think
they
she'll be
get this-
fine. All right, you want to take her?
Yep.
Reintroduce her?
Come here. Want to go to Mama? Let's go bring you to Mama. Go to Mama. Go to Mama. There she goes. She needs comfort.
Oh yeah. Look at that comfort. Good
Mama's
Mama
like-
Ruthie. She doesn't smell quite right, does she? Who'd like a pumpkin? There we go. Look at that. Look at that. Yeah. You guys, do you need some help opening them up? Let's take a look. Let's take a look. Here, let me... Do you want me to help, Sweets? Just hold on. I'll smash it. Now try. There you go. Here, let me do that one too. Oops. There we go. Now try it. Yeah. This is really good for them. A lot of selenium, a lot of vitamins. Oh, they love their treats from the cellar. Oh, now everybody's gonna get in on the game. How are you? Yeah, hello. Cutie? Yeah. Whoa. Hi. Look at all those babies. King of the mountain. King of the mountain. That's what it is. You know, when someone who's not familiar with farm life sees things like what we've shown today on video, it may be that they think agriculture is cruel. This is not something we as human beings should be involved in. You know, I have thoughts about this, obviously. Part of farming involves a real reflection on this sort of thing. My first thought actually is a funny little story I saw a farmer friend share on Facebook the other day. There was a woman on a farm visit. She had never seen a farm before, never seen farm animals. And she asked the farmer, "Why doesn't this cow have horns?" The farmer scratched his head and said, "Well, sometimes we end up removing the horns when they're young, but this cow, ma'am, doesn't have horns because it's a horse." The point of the story is that it's one thing to be taken aback by the things that we do in agriculture. It's another thing, I think, to realize that some of these things are necessary if we're going to live in this symbiotic relationship with animals and with the land. Most poultry never sees sunlight. It's raised entirely hermetically sealed in a barn. And most of the beef that's sold in the grocery store comes from cows that spend the majority of their life living on a feedlot. To be clear, this is not that I think that questioning agricultural practices is out of the question. In fact, our entire way of farming is, in a sense, a rejection of many modern agricultural practices. Ultimately, we are called to be stewards of God's creation. And therefore, here on our farm, we take very carefully our duty to the animals and to the land, and we're constantly looking for ways to help to create that symbiotic relationship where we are able to live off the land, and yet at the same time we leave the land and the lives of the animals better than they would be without our stewardship.